We are getting closer to Christmas. The Christmas season is something that makes us think of food, festivities, catching up with friends, and a lot of people trying to sell us stuff. The Christmas season in the world today is often seen as just the lead up to December 25th. But in the church, Christmas is more than one day. Christmas is so much more. A lot of what we in the English-speaking world associate with Christmas and the Christmas season is actually due to two men in the 19th century. Up until the 19th century, due to the Puritan movements in England, Christmas Day had lost a lot of its place in society. It was a religious observation made in churches but didn't affect the world at large that much. This changed thanks to the work of Charles Dickens with his incredibly popular works, and the work of Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, who had come from Germany and brought a lot of the German Christmas traditions. Bringing Christmas back into society was something these two men are credited with doing, and creating the Christmas atmosphere that we are used to today. The Christmas season is an exciting time for many people. We fill it with all sorts of traditions and events and festivals, and there are many beautiful traditions around the world. But it is important for us to know as Christians and as people, if we have the blessing of spending this time with family and friends, for a lot of people, Christmas and the Christmas season is not that. For many people, it is one of the most isolating and difficult times of the year. Surrounded by all these images of happiness and joy and frenetic excitedness, it can create stress, it can create depression. Because it is a time when all of a sudden people feel truly alone. They have poor memories, they have difficult childhoods that they think back on. And so as Christians, we need to make sure that we understand what the Christmas season is, and that the joy of Christmas isn't just about whether or not we're feeling happy. And that the joy of the Christmas season is more than just the lead up to one day. So today I want to just introduce the concept of the Christmas season and what are some of the things that happen over the course of this season and what the season is. We all know the reason for the season. I don't need to tell you that Christmas is about Jesus Christ, because if you're watching this channel, you've probably worked that out by now. But there's a lot of other things that happen before and after the 25th of December. Leading into Christmas Day is what is commonly known as Advent. It is a season of time that sees us through till Christmas. Advent is from a Latin word that means arrival. We are celebrating the arrival of Jesus Christ on earth and the arrival of Jesus Christ in our hearts. There are a few different ways that people see the Advent season. In the Eastern Orthodox world, it begins 40 days before Christmas. The idea of the Advent season does exist in commercialized society today in the presence of those little Advent calendars with the little doors and the chocolates behind them. For some reason, they now only start from the 1st of December, but Advent calendars did start at the beginning of Advent originally, and behind little doors there'd be pieces of a nativity set that you would build up over the course of the lead up to Christmas Day. The Advent season has, since the early centuries of Christianity, been associated with fasting. Now, most Western countries today no longer keep a fast in the lead up to Christmas. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, we still do that. It is a big part of the lead up to Christmas, and we abstain from meat and milk products. This isn't as serious a fast as other fasts in the year, like Great Lent and the lead up to Easter, for example. It is a time that feels more like an anticipation to a great event. It is a time in which we focus on prayer, reading the scriptures, giving alms to the poor, and getting ready for the arrival of Jesus Christ. Advent holds within itself several saints' days of saints associated with Christmas. St. Nicholas is one of the most obvious ones, and we'll talk about him in a couple of episodes. But there are several days dedicated to the memory of Old Testament prophets that prophesied the coming Messiah. The 2 Sundays ahead of Christmas Day are special days for looking back into the Old Testament. We look at the forefathers of the Christian church, people who were ahead of Christianity. They came before us and they are our ancestors in faith. And we celebrate them and read scriptures from their lives and their writings. And then 5 days before Christmas, we begin the full feast of the Nativity. These 5 days are the prelude to the great day. And on each of these days, we sing nativity hymns and carols. Then Christmas Eve comes. And the day before Christmas in many cultures is and was and has been seen as a very strong day of fasting. In some places there is a tradition that no one will eat anything on Christmas Eve until they see the first Christmas star in the sky at night. In some Orthodox churches, the service for Christmas Day will begin very late at night on Christmas Eve and end in the early hours of the morning. In other places, it is a morning service. It is a very big, exciting one, and it is followed by a meal and festivities and there are wonderful celebrations around the world and different traditional foods and events that celebrate this exciting day. And Christ is born. This is the end of the Advent season, and the day has come. But it's not over yet. Christmas lasts 12 days. You may have heard the song 12 Days of Christmas. You might have heard of Shakespeare's play The Twelfth Night. Christmas is 12 days long, so don't go removing decorations until at least the 6th of January. These 12 days have different associations in different parts of the world. In the Western world, it's often called Christmastide. It is a celebration of Christmas that continues, and there are various events and celebrations and traditions associated with these different days. The first Sunday that happens after Christmas Day is associated with some of the relatives of Christ. This is his earthly protector, the righteous Joseph. This is his ancestor, King David, and his brother, James. And we have hymns that commemorate their part in the life of Jesus. Then at the last day of the 12 days of Christmas, we celebrate a massive event, an event that actually predates Christmas in the Christian calendar. It existed before Christmas Day was a major celebration, and that is Theophany. We call it Theophany in the East, in the Orthodox world, which means a visible manifestation of God. In the West, the day is called Epiphany, which is like a revelation, a realization. And there are two things we celebrate on this day. The first, the Christmas association, is the arrival of the three wise men, the three kings. They come and they have an epiphany of the Son of God. And we commemorate Jesus' baptism in the Jordan River. And we'll talk more about Theophany down the road because it is one of the biggest festivals of the church and draws thousands of people to services around the world every year. Now, this is a major event, and this ends the Christmas season. Christmas is here, completed. But there is a couple extra little things to push it even further. The day after Theophany, we commemorate Jesus' cousin, John the Baptist, and everything that he did as a relative of Christ and as the forerunner of Jesus Christ. Then, on February 2nd, 40 days after Christmas Day, we celebrate Jesus' presentation at the temple. This is another massive event, and in some places it is called Candlemas, and this has its own associations with festivities and traditional foods in different parts of the world. So this is obviously just an introduction to the season of Christmas, because there is so much more to discover the more you look. Because as you step back, you realize that there's Christmas Day, and Christmas Day is surrounded by other days. It is surrounded by weeks of lead up, and it is surrounded by weeks of celebration. Just as the original Christmas Day was preceded by centuries of anticipation, and the results of it will be felt for eternity. So this is an important moment to realize that most of us celebrate Christmas Day and most of us love Christmas Day. But we need to look back and realize that Christmas Day is one of many Christian festivals throughout the year. Some of them are older than Christmas and have been celebrated by Christians for longer. So be able to look at what the church has been celebrating for all of this time, and your year will become so much more exciting when you fill it with all of these extra moments to remember Christ. So, Merry Christmas in advance as we progress towards Christmas Day. I hope you have a joyful Christmas season, and I hope we can remember to look out for those people who are not going to have a joyful Christmas season. Keep an eye open for the chance to bring Christ's joy to others as Christ brought himself to us. And in the words of Charles Dickens, may we honour Christmas in our hearts and try to keep it all the year. Christmas is coming up. We have more Christmas episodes to be seen. I'm drinking a tea that is ginger and apple. It feels Christmassy to me. And yes,